Hi everybody, Thomas Miller back again, and I'm with my buddy Jack Zwires. And if you saw our first video on this muscle testing, this is Jack's home that I'm shooting this in, and it's just such an incredible nighttime scene that you created, which is now behind the camera. We just flipped it around for daytime and another beautiful scene. So I told you these are everywhere. Thank you for opening your home. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And for being willing to go through this process.
It's wonderful to have you here, and I'm excited.
Well, we were talking about this yesterday or after yesterday's shoot, and Jack was standing behind the camera for the first video, and he was doing the process and had a really big pressing question that he got his answer to right there. Boom. Well, he was pretty excited about it, so we were talking about it today, and he has another big pressing question that he wants to do this with. And as I was talking through some suggestions of things that he might ask, he was like, oh, wow, oh, that's cool. So I thought if we went through it, you might pick up some, oh, wow, cool techniques and tips as well.
Absolutely.
So how are you feeling? Are you centered?
I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because you know that as even the other night, now you were standing when we did the first video.
Correct.
So you had the advantage of that. I typically will be standing, I think, for this, or walking. Like, I love to do it while I'm out walking. But, you know, one of the things wherever you are and however you're doing it is just to be centered.
Correct. Yeah, have a straight spine and be settled and connected.
Yeah, settled, connected. I don't twist things, you know, I don't cross legs and things like that. I don't think that's a rule. It's just something that has worked for me to not do. So as you're feeling into this and connecting with the question, why don't we just go through what we did last night in the first part? And by the way, if you haven't watched that first video, that's the basis of this one. This one is definitely an add-on to the one that's previous on the channel. So why don't we just ask, first of all, if it's okay to even be doing this?
I would agree.
It's a good starting place.
So, you know, yes, is it okay that we're asking these questions? And will you be present to giving the answers, yes or no?
Yeah, why don't you go through that then?
So what I would like to ask, you know, show me yes.
And Jack was using this piece and it worked for him.
Show me no. It gets sticky.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets sticky.
All right. So ask now the specific question, is it okay to be doing this?
So is it also okay that we're walking down this path and answering these questions? Absolutely.
It's smooth. Okay.
Smooth.
All right. We're doing this for real. I mean, this is not made
yeah.
up at all. This is not practice or staged. And we haven't done it yet so this is all fresh. In other words, we're not recreating something here.
And these are serious questions that involve my life.
Well, it really does, because this is, you're going to ask about how you're spending your time. So why don't you set up and tell everybody what the question, at least the topic is.
So the little basis is transitioning my career and what I'm looking at doing with getting into breath work and providing, going out and providing like workshops. And then also additional to that is also working with psychedelics.
Okay. Jack has a really good base job. And like, I think he's been listening to the podcasts because I've been saying to everybody, get something else going on the side. Keep your base. If you have a good base, keep your base. And that's not the question at hand here. What he's talking about are these extra areas that he might expand into and where to focus his attention and direction. So the areas that he just mentioned are things that have made a big difference in his journey. And obviously, he's a lot like you, that you want to share the things that have worked for you. So this is all about focusing in that area.
Yeah.
And it is very much how you will spend your time and what is waiting for you out there. Who is waiting for you? You have a message to share.
Right.
Who is the audience that is ready to receive, right?
Exactly.
And you've put a lot of things together on your journey. I mean, you've got health, you have fitness, you have journaling and the whole thing there. He is an amazing decorator, as you've seen from the videos. He has that as a potential side business. So, I mean, there are a lot of ways that he can go here. But he wants to ask these questions first.
Correct.
So in your own way and in your own words, let's just get the base question out here. So that would be something to do with, we've already asked permission, so we're not doing that. This would be the base question. So we're now to the point of, should I spend my time this year?
Yeah.
And then you fill in the blanks around that.
Should I spend my time and my effort this year focusing on providing breath work workshop for people who are transitioning?
Let's do a bigger macro first. Let's just ask if these events are something that you should be doing, and then we'll go into the topics, okay? Notice that point. That's really key. You want to start big and then zoom in as much as you can here. Because if we get a no, you shouldn't even be spending your time doing events,
Correct.
Then maybe you're supposed to be doing your interior work or something else. So let's ask about events first.
Asking to source and connecting, should I be pursuing doing events? No question at all.
Now, that is really common because if you are on a path, and Jack is, then typically what you are feeling inside to do is going to come up as a yes. That's really typical.
And it's been speaking very loud to me.
And you also know how to tune into your inner voice. So it's really no surprise, but we don't want to just be presumptive with this.
Correct.
Right? Because you want to know, should I be spending my time with this? Let's just throw the other question down. Should I focus on this exclusively? In other words, if I'm going to create a second little venture in 2025, would it be just doing these events, or should I pursue something else as well, realizing that he really doesn't have the time to do more, but just throw it down as, we'll see what comes up. Just the events for 2025 or the events and something else?
Should I be doing these events along with the other activities that I've been looking at? Yes or no? Smooth as silk.
Wow. Okay. So you're going to be a busy boy this year. So that's saying you can take it all on. So everything's on the table.
Capricorn energy.
All right. Wow. Did that answer surprise you? A little bit.
It did surprise me because I've been battling back and forth with this, as you know.
Okay.
And just having that confirmation and going through this exercise, which with all the different modalities that I've worked with, if it's psychedelics, sitting in doing breath work and meditation, having a lot of conversations with you within doing this, that I've only been acknowledging this since yesterday. I mean, I'm just wowed by it.
Okay. All right.
And it really took me off guard last night as we were shooting last night. So I was excited to step into this process.
Okay. Well, now we have a wider open door than we kind of thought, you know? You've got other areas. Now, the other thing for you is that can help you know how else you might spend your time. So, for example, Jack, like me, is single. Would a dating app probably fit into that scenario?
Do a little something fun?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, say, do I have time? Would it be fair to bring somebody into this busy life, or do I spend 2025 getting it all off the ground? And those are questions you can ask later. But you see where you can go with this, right?
Absolutely.
But you all of a sudden got really busy because you work a full day's job.
And
it's a
then some.
demanding job.
Correct.
So you come home. Now, Jack's younger than I am, so he's got the youth to his advantage. Says, I'm not that young. but he's a lot younger than I am. So, as I'm looking at this, I'm going, oh gosh, I'm trying to pare back, but that's great. So,
Yeah.
all right, so let's focus on the events, because that was really the topic that we thought we would get here. And then you can do these other explorations on the other things later. But
I have a couple areas that we can dive into.
okay, so Jack has several topics that he could teach. So why don't you just start with the one that was primary, which I think is breathwork, right? All right. So let's just say, and the way I would do this, now this is kind of getting into multiple choice, but we're still going to keep it as close to yes and no as possible. So how you could do that is to simply ask, should breathwork be one of the topics of these events? See how that narrows it down to a yes, no.
It's very specific.
Right. And we're building the table of contents of the book here, right?
Correct.
Should this be a chapter?
Yeah.
Should this be part of the event that I'm going to do?
And it's very straightforward at that point.
So we're asking clearly, and what is behind that too? Do I know enough about it? Should I get a certification? Is this the message that I want to communicate out, or is this just something that helped me and I just need to keep it here? Because you have a lot of other topics, so we're going to get some yeses here.
Sure.
We know that.
Yeah.
But we're taking the first one that's on his mind that he would like to start with. So let's just see what it shows.
Should breathwork be a part of this adventure? Smooth as silk.
Say, show me no. Right now, just say, show me no.
Show me no.
You go sticky?
Good Lord.
It stopped.
It stopped.
Okay.
It stopped.
Now say, show me yes.
Show me yes.
Show me no.
Show me no.
You want that clarity. Just,
You can't make this up.
we are
As you always say, you
we
can't
are doing
make
this
up.
live. Yes.
We are.
So, all right.
Yeah.
So now you know the difference. Ask it again. Should breath work be part of the process?
Should breathwork be a part of this process?
And how does it feel that you're talking to God right now? I mean, prayer is us talking up. God is intuition is God talking down. I mean, you are literally dialoguing with your inner self. Isn't that cool?
It is cool, and with a lot of our conversations, the practice has been there, but it's really trusting your intuition and trusting your inner guidance and really being centered with that.
Well, and this is one of the things that I've been very keen on lately is, and Jack asked a very good question last night after we finished. He said, who am I talking to? And that is the key. And I have felt that so many people in their spiritual path, even with all good intentions, can get into areas where the dark side can come in. So this is where we go again, and let's just set up that say, I am only getting answers from the light in pure love for my highest and best good. And then throw that to the test.
Am I only getting answers from my highest good, pure light, and from love? Yes.
Good. And then I would say too, I sometimes will do this just as the clearing, because you want to be this open channel. Are there any blocks that would distort the answers that we're getting here?
Are there any blocks from any of the distortions from channeling this through? It's getting sticky.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes
it's very sticky.
Okay, all right. Because sometimes if it's partial, I'll get partials.
Yeah.
That means there might be a little work to do in there, So then you could come back, private time, and you could go through. If there is a block, what could it be?
And work through it.
And just start listing things out. When you get a yes, I'll do that too. I'll do that. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to go through objects that I see in my vision right now. I see a tree. I see a sofa, I see a pillow, I see a rock, I see dust, I see a wall, I see another house, I see a light, I see a camera, and as you're going through, if you are thinking about blocks from the past or areas that might be a challenge, you can just go through them like that and say, show me a no if it's not an issue, show me a yes if it's an issue. Is the pillow an issue? No. Is the tree an issue? No. Is the wall an issue? Yes. Okay, then work on the wall.
It is pretty simplistic.
Very. Yes, no. Take your topic, zoom in from the bigger picture, and start to dissect the... All right, now let's do another one. You mentioned the psychedelics. So why don't you do a question of should psychedelics also be part of the topic? And see, the contrast here is, should I just do a breathwork seminar, or would there be a market out there, or is it my purpose out there to do the combination?
And that's kind of my question, like, is this my purpose and what's been nudging me? So, is psychedelics part of what I'm supposed to be doing? And it's smooth.
Okay. Is that a surprise?
No, it's not. It's not.
Right. And you almost say, okay,
it's not.
Are we just validating what you already know? Yes, exactly.
Correct.
Because in the first part, I was saying, do this because our body responds to truth and falsehood. But where it really is coming from, I like to follow the chakra line. I like to hone in on the center of the chest. You can do the leaning in, however you do, but at the same time, you're wanting to feel, yes, the up, right? The no, the heavy, the down. At the same time, should psychedelics be a part of my seminar agenda? And you all of a sudden, you're just like, you go, whoom, that little tick. And remember the blink. Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Blink. The very first pulse is what you're after. This is not a sit there and dwell on it kind of thing. It's that first boom, that's your answer.
And it lightens you up.
And don't go up here and start to analyze it. That defeats it. You keep it right there.
Right.
You are listening to the boom all through the day. And once you get practiced at this, everything that happens through the day becomes a blank with, and you don't even have to do this because you're feeling it here.
Right.
So something comes along, like you're pitching a client, for example, a prospect, and you know they're kind of going down tangents and roads and things, and all of a sudden you just, should I keep going here or should I just let somebody else have this account? Boom,
Right.
Hey, I'll get back, call me when you're ready kind of thing. You can wrap it up.
Yep.
Just, I've given you everything that I've got, call me when you're ready.
And you can feel it inside.
And then you quit wasting your time.
Correct.
So that's another good way to do it. All right, so we've been through that. Now, let's do numbers of events. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay? So you see how we're just kind of taking, what all do you need to get together here? So why don't you break down a number that's comfortable for you? A couple of options, and then we'll...
So I think what I'm going to do is just ask for a small number and maybe gradually go up in increments.
Yeah.
So...
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah. So how many events should I do this first year? And then throw your first number down, and you can get the yes at the lower numbers. And then say, just keep going up. 5, 6, 8, 18. No, okay, then somewhere beyond.
Sure.
Right?
I'm going to start out with something before that, though.
Play with it.
Should I start these events immediately? Wow. That was a sticky no.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I mean, in other words, have something here on the coffee shop and put it up on Meetup.
Sure.
Right? That's practical. That could happen. You could do it within 2 weeks.
Correct.
No, there's more to do.
Correct. Should I be starting these events in the fall? This is smooth as smooth can be. And like you said, a lot of this is confirmation, from different things that I've been kicking around, and the questions that I've been laying out for myself, but not really getting those answers for.
Okay, good.
And this has given me those answers.
Well, and then we come back to the practical side, and
Correct.
summer is your busy time of
Correct.
year. So, okay, this fits.
It really makes sense.
And that kind of takes some pressure off too, doesn't it? You
Absolutely
can go,
it does.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Because I have a career.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Now, you could, at this point, you could decide, have I asked enough for now about the number of events? Like, okay, I'm going to start with one in the fall. Maybe that's enough, right? Like you don't even need to ask about
That's a good
more.
point.
I would just stop there. Keep your focus on the next steps ahead of you, not the whole big picture.
Correct.
That's not the, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't ask for everything.
That'll take you up here instead of in alignment.
Well, I don't think that spirit works that way. I mean, even in the Bible, the next step is always the next step. You know,
Correct.
it's like, and until we've acted on the next direction, we don't get the next direction.
Correct.
So this is a little bit of a test to see, are we going to do what it's telling us to do? Because the worst thing you can do with this, I think it will nullify future answers, is to do this process, get an answer, and then not do it. That's danger zone right there. I've done it. Yeah. Speaking from experience, don't do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to take the time to come to source, you get an answer. There is no question if you know that you're getting an answer from source, if you know this is from love, if you know this is also being confirmed inside, and you don't do it, God bless you. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't leave comments in the comment section. You're on your own. Seriously.
Free will.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, but that's exactly what our monkey mind will want to do.
Correct.
Because your monkey mind says, no, I don't want to wait until the fall. I want to do something now. I want to at least get one under my belt. So I'm going to go do the coffee shop thing. And,
You're right.
And you're going to jeopardize the whole path that could be ahead of you by waiting?
We got to take baby steps
Yeah.
to get there.
Yeah.
And there's a plan that unfolds to get to that point.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Exactly. So now you see how you can further break this down. Now it's time to go to your journal and start thinking about, okay, for this first event in the fall, where do I want to have it? You've got a beautiful setting right here. Now, you know, you could have this as a seminar room to get started.
Right.
These are all the kinds of questions that you can go through now that you see kind of how you can present different things different ways.
I like it.
Does it make sense?
Absolutely, it does.
Are you complete?
I am complete.
Are we at a good stop? I think we're at a stopping point now where you need to go do some personal work. You know,
Absolutely.
where you get back into, you've got enough this way. Now you can start hanging some other additional embellishments around it.
We don't need to overflow the plate.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Love
Thanks,
you, man.
buddy. Love you too. Love you
That
too,
was
man.
great. Appreciate
like
you
it.
doing it.
It's fun.
Hope that helps. Leave a good comment if you like what you've seen and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the podcasts.
See you later.